So some of what I'm covering is startup stuff. And so if you are that exceptional guy with 150 IQ and you're the rockstar programmer, you might be able to find some use in that. Okay, so in part one, we covered what to expect, we covered what not to do, we covered how to get started. And now in part two, I'm going to cover getting and keeping clients or customers, how to get investment or what you need to know about investment or not having to worry about investment, and then how to handle obstacles. So without further ado, getting and keeping clients and customers. Number one priority, protect your brand first. Okay, this is counterintuitive to what a lot of people might say about getting money first. Money is important. Money is extremely important when it comes to business, but your brand is more important. Okay, I'll tell you what. No brand means no business. All right. Again, I told you that I'm a big fan of not being a hustler, but building a brand, creating a vision, creating something that's going to be paying you for the next 25 years or 30 years, maybe something you can give to your kids. And it's so much more exciting when you're building a brand and trying to build something great as opposed to just one hustle here, one hustle there. And building the brand means protecting that brand first, okay? There's a lot of stuff I could do on RRLD on my website to optimize. I could have pop-ups all over the place. I could spam you all kinds of stuff for affiliate marketing on the newsletter. I could do all kinds of things, but instead I don't do that because in my niche of self-improvement, there are so many people that aren't ethical or that are, don't have the right mindset that I need to protect my brand so that you don't think that I fall into that area. It's very, very important for me to differentiate myself from that by not doing dirty stuff or promoting courses that aren't good or spamming your newsletter or all these types of things. Very, very important. Okay. You got to protect your brand. The first thing you do is there's two things you do to protect your brand. The first thing you need to do is protect your assets. Okay. So if you got a website, get Sucuri, SUCURI on your website to protect it from being hacked. If business insurance is right for your business, then get that. Use LastPass to protect all your passwords. In case you lose your computer at a cafe or something, all your passwords are protected. Make sure your computer is locked and pin protected every time. If you get up to go to the washroom, I always shut my computer just in case it gets stolen. I don't care if the computer gets stolen. I care if my information gets stolen and people have access to my passwords. It's very, very important that that doesn't happen. Okay. Last year, my site got hacked and it was sending customers to spam sites. Really not fun. I was really shook up over it, but I got Sucuri in there, and within an hour, they got rid of all the malware. And then I put on like insane level protections and whitelist my IP and all kinds of layers to log in. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to log into my site, but it's totally worth it because I know that it's very well protected now and that I'm not going to get hacked again, God willing. So definitely protect your brand first, protect your assets first. Whatever type of assets you have, maybe you have more assets that need to be protected than I do, but make sure those are all protected because, okay, if they're not protected, then you don't have a business, right? You don't have a business when your website's hacked. The other thing you need to do that's super, super important to protect your brand is to be ethical, okay? In today's online age, it only takes some negative feedback to ruin your reputation, right? If you're some kind of scumbag, well, someone's going to find out and do an expose, and then when people Google your name, it's going to be like, hey, John Smith did all these things, right? And now you've lost a ton of potential clients, if not, your business, because people think that you're a con man. And it might not happen today. You might be able to get away with it today or tomorrow, but it will. You will eventually get caught, or something will happen. And not only that, but in the time between now and when it hits the fan, you're going to be living and sleeping. You're in fear of being, subconsciously going to be there of like, I'm dirty. I hope I don't get caught. And every day you're trying to like manage not getting caught. And, all this stuff. Like if you look at Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street, that guy had to do hardcore drugs every day because he hated himself so much, and I'm sure was worried about getting caught by the regulators all the time because he was just scamming people out of money, and like living in fear every day of getting caught. And oh God, the client called back. Okay, what lie do I have to tell them? Okay, they caught onto that lie. What other lie do I have to tell? Like, that's a really good way to be unhappy doing that. And it's not just about getting caught. Like, Jordan Belfort gets caught, he loses all his money, he can't work in securities industry, he goes to jail. I mean, all those types of things can happen. But not only that, being unethical just takes the fun out of the business, okay? At the end of the day, everything I talk about in self-improvement comes down to creating a happier quality of life, including building a business. And you can't be happy when you're a scumbag, okay? Anybody who's scamming someone out of money is not a happy person. Happy people don't act like that. Happy people have empathy for other people. Like, there's another human being there. I don't want to scam money from that person because then I'm going to feel bad about myself. I'm going to feel guilty. And even if those guys think they don't feel guilty, your subconscious keeps track of everything, and it's going to come out in self-hatred. And that's why those guys like Jordan Belfort are having to do these drugs to get a synthetic feeling of feeling good, because they don't feel good about themselves because they're con men, okay? So instead, focus on your business like it's your purpose in life. You're building this great vision, and your purpose in life is to create happier realities. It's to solve problems for your clients. It's to solve problems for your customers. It's to make their lives better. It's to get good feedback from them after you've given them something. Like, my favorite thing to do is read the YouTube comments. I mean, maybe 5% of them negative, but the other 95% are mostly positive. And then I wake up and I'm like, man, I helped some guy in Japan, or I helped some guy over here. And the YouTube videos are for free. And I don't care that I'm not making money on that. I'm just happy that, like, oh man, someone likes my stuff, and I'm helping someone's life be better. And it took me until I was like 30 to figure that out, of like, man, helping other people is a really good way to be happy. I know that might sound a little bit cheesy, and if I was 25, I'd be like, man, fuck that shit. I just want to get paid. But like, it really, really does affect you. And helping people achieve their goals and solving your client's problem is its own reward in itself. Okay, it's just another reward besides the money that you're getting. So those are the two key points on protecting your brand. The next thing you need to do in regards to getting clients and customers is make revenue priority number 2 and priority number 3. Okay, so we got the protect your brand out of the way. All right. With that said, I'm no martyr. I'm no self-sacrificing martyr. I would not be talking to you guys if this wasn't about money. This business took 3 years for me to be profitable. I never would have done that if I didn't think that investing all this time and money was going to pay off. It's paying off now, and it's only going to pay off more in the future, God willing. So, like, you have to have money as a major priority, because otherwise you're going to have to work a job. I mean, you need to make money, you need to make revenue, you need to have it as a major focus. And it's just because Twitter hasn't turned a profit and YouTube hadn't turned a profit in 10 years of existence, doesn't mean that you can afford to run a business like that, okay? YouTube could literally afford to burn a room full of money because they have so much, but you can't afford to lose even $5,000 probably, or 10 grand. Maybe you could, but it's gonna sting, especially when you're getting started. Okay, so you need revenue. Something I really learned well in corporate sales, and I'm grateful for the experience, even though I hated it. It's like every month was a revenue target. Every month was a revenue target, and it just beat all the delusional expectations I had out of my head. It beat everything out, and it was like, some of the guys I worked for I didn't like, but I'll give them their respect in terms of those guys knew how to get revenue, and they knew how to get me to get revenue. And I saw how important it is to have that revenue target every month. Revenue. Okay,